Welcome back to Ultimate General Civil War, the Battle of Chickamauga. Now I can fight the battle in a situation where most of the fighting will end up taking place over here, or I can play it a bit more defensively. There are two ways to win. One is to hold Horso Ridge, which I don't have, but it is, I think, to the west, if I'm not mistaken. And the other one is to take these 2 points over here. As far as I personally view this matter, if you fight in the woods here, your casualties will be pretty extreme. It will result in a situation where General Longstreet, when he arrives, most of his troops will be deployed over here to support General Bragg, as opposed to moving west. What's the problem with that, one might ask? Fairly simple. Most of your units are not going to be deployed in this area. So, as you might imagine, that's not going to be a pleasant experience to deal with. Yeah, one brigade my ass. Let's be clear on an affair over here. There is no brigade of Confederate units. There's an entire army of skirmishers in these woods. Something that the Union did find out to their inconvenience, so to speak, during the actual battle. Now I'm deploying some skirmishers of my own from General Trigg. Now I didn't inflict as many casualties as I would have liked at the bridges, to be honest. Alright, quickly push them south. Reinforcements are arriving. Sending in the artillery will move over there. I might be pushing in a bit too aggressively, maybe. But I do want to eliminate the enemy artillery, at least the ones that they start with. More brigades are being sent in. Artillery again being sent over here by the road. We pursue. This is a good artillery position. I will make use of that aspect of it. Keep moving units forward. Slow down a bit just so I can. Alright, several brigades are furthering on position. It is an entire division. Well, with that in mind, I need to send more units to hold this place. We have successfully driven the initial enemy brigades, most of them are right out from the field. Skirmishers drawn out, thrown back. I'm gonna send more units and the cavalry to try and take them out. And I am going to send my units over here to hold position. Supplies will be needed around here and maybe around here, but I don't know how much fighting we can expect over here. It's more so an exhaustion, not really. Alright. An enormous division approaches, apparently. Enemy troops incoming. That's gonna hurt. Get out of there. Alright, we've beaten back the initial assaults, but this is just Bragg. This is not General Longstreet. When General Longstreet arrives, this gets a bit more difficult. The Confederate army in the west was was the weaker one. Let's just put it like that. The best units were in the east. Guess who we're gonna deal with? A large portion of the Eastern Army. Here we go. We need ammo. I'll send the supply wagons over there. Hopefully they should hold. Sending some skirmishers to hold position over there. Getting Thomas. Okay, Jace Hill, or Mill, needs to be taken. The battle is heating up. Hill's corps has been spotted marching from the Strode. He will possibly attack our forces near Jace Mill. But we now have combined all of our troops that are going to be thrown into this battle. I'm not even going to care about these camps. I'll leave some units here, you know, on the battlefield to deal with that, but we're about to deal General with a formidable force marching to take us out. So I will leave some units, absolutely, no denying it. But most of my men are gonna have to march to save my beleaguered forces over here. I say beleaguered because they're about to face Longstreet soon enough. And they've been fighting all day. So as you might imagine, they're tired, they're exhausted, their ammunition is low, they've taken casualties. So I'll send them over here. They'll have to run. There's no way around that. They'll be exhausted, absolutely. Sodding hell. I'm gonna have to take an entire proper brigade. Thankfully, the good news is that I've managed to largely form up my units over here. The bad news is I'm about to face the full might of the Confederates. They'll try and take some of these points, absolutely. I think I'll leave one unit over here at the farm. There we go. That's it. Okay, they're getting reinforcements. I need to pull back a bit over here. Get some fresh units in. I can't really flank them, can I? Yeah, maybe I can. There are some units that have a window of opportunity to attack, and I still am bringing more and more units over here. So, possibly? But the problem is not likely. Okay, so he needs to pull back. He needs to pull back. Fuck. General Sherman. Now these guys have the Spencer rifles, but they're useless here. This is not an open field battle, this is a forest fight. Brawl, really. I'll use that term easily. Right, it seems there's a large portion of the Confederate army that's deployed over here. That suits me quite well because it means, although sure, it sucks to fight them in the woods, it does mean that they're not advancing to Jay's Mill. It does mean that they're not pressuring my troops, my heavily exhausted troops over here. So that's actually a really good thing. I can eliminate the troops that are currently in the northern part of the battlefield and then turn my attention towards them. That's what it's probably going to boil down to really reorientate the keys. There's been some damage done, obviously, but not substantial enough, so to speak. Right, and Burnside are still holding, and they will continue to hold over there. I'm not worried about any of these objectives. Well, maybe this one. You never know. But I'll send a general there. I'll send a brigade to reinforce that point. All right. I think it's mostly one at this point. Should come. So I'll just speed it up. There are these. Okay, so they're armed with palmettos. I don't really want to. Oh, fuck, 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 fuck. I have all the things that could happen. How the hell did that brigade just pop out of nowhere over there? To smack my artillery. That's the worst part. What the fuck? How did these guys even get past? I mean, did they just retreat over here and I just wasn't paying attention because of, you know, other things going on? Suppose? Yeah, Walton is not going to be able to win that one. Right, sending two brigades. Well, it's just a matter of surviving for 2 more hours. These guys are gonna break. We secured the field again. I'm not gonna let it fall one more time. I'm gonna send cavalry to deal with some of their artillery, assuming that they don't have any infantry there, which should be able to take it out. And there was no. I don't really know where the rest of their... I mean, how many CSA units are there? Confederate States of America. 11,000. Okay, that makes sense. There's 1,000 here. 2,000 maybe up there. 3,000 or so here. Ah, there we go. You got that damn artillery, right? Fall back. Victory is a victory. We lost 10,000 soldiers. They lost 35,000 soldiers, 173 guns, 329 cavalry. We lost 490. We lost more cavalry, 13 guns versus all they lost. Victory. No generals dead, just a bunch of generals wounded. Good enough, I guess. William Jones promoted. We got some Mississippi, some Springfields, yeah, some Harper's Ferry, some Sharps, some Hunters, some, right, a whole lot, certainly not very useful stuff, but still good enough, I suppose. Biggest thing that I'm interested in, where are Spencers are not mentioned at all. I mean, I certainly would have. Oh, okay. So we rescued 470. I wish I would have lost more men of my brigades, but all right. Huh? No brigadier generals. Oh, injured people. Army organization. Let's take a look at Cold Harbor. Mr. President, it is my duty to inform you that the Corps... They've certainly taken a lot of damage. There's only 96,000 of them left. That was Chickamauga. We... The First Corps is really in no position to fight anyone at this stage. Though they did level up.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir.
If you're wondering why I'm butchering the 3rd and 4th Corps just for the sake of this 1st and 2nd, it's Well, it's because I ultimately don't need any more cores in the first and second. Well, maybe the third, but I can always, you know, rebuild it. But you look at Chickamauga, you look at this one battle, right? You've got the left flank, the second flank, okay, and you have the third corps, right, as reinforcements. But you don't need to. The main battle will be fought by these two armies at the front, so you don't need to care about the third and fourth corps in any real capacity. So that's why I'm throwing everything I have. Besides, I could use more units, you know. We do have some very difficult battles ahead here at the Confederate defenses. This is where the Civil War becomes a case of trench warfare, really. We do have to break through those formidable defenses, though. That's gonna be fun. I should probably...
Sir, yes, sir!
Clearly there are a lot of rifles I can sell. Let's start with these Springfields, Palmettos, Mississippis. I think I'll keep the Texas Tylers, but everything outside of that can be sold. Yeah, I'm not keeping 6-pounders. Surprised I had 6-pounders so late in the game. So, now for the second corps, I could always replace Sherman. Sherman. And I do have some... Yeah, I do have rank 3 generals. Trigg in particular.
Yes, sir.
Could always replace Trigg. How many Harper's Ferry? Yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of fighting ahead. And that will not be easy fighting either. Like, the irony, I suppose, is that Cold Harbor is the easiest battle of all of these. Like, it's the same, by the way, if you play the Confederates. The battle is the easiest. Alright, I still need one more unit. I still need 3 more, actually. Actually, I don't. Alright. Oh, so be it then. I still have the Iron Brigade.
Yes, sir.
Hold on.
Sir, yes, sir!
Not enough still. You need a... Yeah, there we go. But yeah, these battles will be quite a nightmare to deal with. So I'll take Scrummer. Well, don't have a lot of injured generals in the barracks, major generals in particular, so once I win Cold Harbor, and it will be easily won. It's not a hard battle. Like, on either side, really, it's relatively easy to win as either side, regardless of what you're playing. I think I want the guys with the Spencer rifles to actually make use of them. Well, yeah. Yeah, I would have wanted to actually make a brigade, but we haven't seen enough of them to make that a practical reality. Now I'm gonna keep the Napoleons, maybe even raise a unit actually. Yeah, taking that, moving into the Fur Corps, taking this, moving into the second. Taking quite a lot of damage. Right, I'll worry about the first and second corps. First corps seems mostly fine. I just want the 1,000 units per brigade. Minimum, that is. No more Harper's Ferry guns, though. No more fun. Well, we have 32. There we go. So that's 20,000 men, 20,000 men. So we have about 40,000 or so. That should be enough to win this. And obviously, the more you kill, the more successful you're here. The easier it will be in these battles. Costin signing out.